Rosanna Arquette expresses interest in reuniting with Madonna for Desperately Seeking Susan sequel after almost 40 years. Director Susan Seidelman balanced playful and feminist tone in the 1985 classic, influencing Madonna's style. Arquette reflects on tensions during filming, now appreciates Seidelman's directing style and growth in the industry. It comes as little surprise that Rosanna Arquette, who rose to fame after starring alongside pop icon Madonna in the 1985 romantic comedy, Desperately Seeking Susan, has recently expressed interest in revisiting the classic and reuniting with her co-star for a sequel. It has been almost 40 years since the movie graced the silver screens, and with Hollywood constantly remaking and reviving 80s classics, Arquette's fantasy does not really seem far-fetched. Directed by Susan Seidelman, Desperately Seeking Susan tells the story of Roberta Arquette, a bored suburban housewife who draws comfort out of reading the personal section of a NYC tabloid. Through cryptic messages she finds there, her life intersects with that of Susan, Madonna, an eccentric drifter. Roberta starts following Susan while avoiding entanglements and exploring New York City. The movie was a success upon release, and it also starred Aidan Quinn, Laurie Metcalf, and Giancarlo Esposito. In a recent appearance on film critic and journalist Anna Smith's Girls on Film podcast, Arquette revealed that she has hypothetical fantasies about a sequel to Desperately Seeking Susan and how the idea occurred to her because sequels are so frequently being in today's era. "I always had a fantasy about what happened to them. Who are they now? It would be so great to make that movie. And see where everybody ends up. Do Des, Aidan Quinn's character, and her stay together? What happens to them?" Rosanna Arquette's experience on set with director Susan Seidelman Desperately Seeking Susan resonated with fans not only because of its engaging plot, but because Seidelman managed to nail the perfect balance between a playful and feminist tone. She also paid close attention to fashion and culture, with costumes influenced by Madonna's early style. It was a standout, particularly because of Arquette and Madonna's performances. While discussing the 1985 classic, Arquette also candidly recalled her experience on set and minor moments of tension with director Susan Seidelman, who was always straightforward in communicating information to her actors. Arquette elaborated by saying, "I remember specifically her saying, 'That sucked.' It was harmful to me at that time because I didn't know where it was coming from. But it was just her inexperience and my hypersensitivity. I had just come off from working with Martin Scorsese on After Hours. He was the ultimate director of life and loved his actors and would nurture them. You don't talk to actors that way because you can get more out of them if you don't do that." As it turned out, it was Arquette's way of acknowledging just how necessary it is to grow in the industry. Her understanding of the profession over the years has led Arquette to appreciate Seidelman's directing style because it brought out the naturalism of her actors and ensured the message of feminism was portrayed authentically. She, Seidelman, didn't know that at the time. Since then, I have understood her and I think she understands me. And that's growing up in life. A Desperately Seeking Susan sequel remains just a fantasy for now, but it is still fun to consider the possibilities if someone were able to pick it up. The original is rightfully hailed as a cult classic and the new generation would certainly benefit from a story that catches up with Roberta and Susan after all these years. Desperately Seeking Susan is currently streaming on MGM+.